guitar enthusiasts, I'm going to show you a very simple finger picking pattern that you could use over your favorite songs. But not only that, I'm going to show you a very special technique in finger picking called the pluck. It shows up in so many songs, you're going to want to know how to do it. Let's get started. Before we get started, I want to make sure that you have the tab that goes along with this lesson. You can scroll down to the description below, click on the link, and you'll be taken to where you can get your download. This is lesson 4 in a 6-part series, so if you missed any of those other previous lessons, the links are included in the course guide. Now in lesson 3, I showed you how to do finger picking over songs that are in what's called 6/8 time, that waltz feel, when the song is swaying. But not all songs have that sway feel. They're more what we call 4/4 time. So instead of that waltz feel where you feel like you're swinging, these songs have more of a straight feel, almost like a rock and roll feel to them, although we're playing folk style because it's finger picking, but there's going to be 4 beats for each chord. So I'm going to show you a very classical alternating bass line. All right, we've learned what an alternating bass line is. It's that, okay, it's 2 bass notes. It's kind of the drive of the song. And we're going to throw in a couple treble notes over that. So the pattern we're going to be using for a G chord is we're going to be hopping the string. So we're going to be going from string 6 to string 4. So you might want to just practice hopping that string. 6, 4, 6, 4. Okay, these are your quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now in between each of those, we're going to add a second note played by either finger 1 or 2, marked by the letter I and M on your tablature. All right, the thumb is the P, remember that. So it's P-I-M-A, okay, for your fingers. Now, we're going to be going P, I, P, M. P, I, P, M. Okay, so that's going to be strings 6, 3, 4, 2. 6, 3, 4, 2. Okay, very common thing you can do over chords. Let's just try that with the G chord a couple times. I think G is probably the trickiest because you got to hop over that string. All right, so we've got P, I, P, M. P, I, P, M. P, I, P, M. So that's a pattern you could use for 6-string chords. That could also be used on something like an E minor, okay? Okay, so you can hear how this strumming pattern can be played slow, it can be played fast. And it's not a strumming pattern, it's a picking pattern. I know. I always make mistakes. Sometimes my brain gets a mind of its own. So that's what we can do on any 6-string chord. Okay, 5-string chords, we're going to do something a little bit different. All right, we're not going to be hopping over the bass note. This C chord, we're going to be playing strings right next to each other. So it's going to be strings 5 and 4. Okay, so that's your bass line. 1, 2, 3, 4. The other 2 fingers are doing the exact same thing. So it's going to be string 3 followed by string 2. So it's P, I, P, M. Okay, so start real slow. Ready? 1, 2, 3, M, 4, M. P, I, P, M. P, I. Okay, so just start slow and you can work your way up to a faster speed. Now again, if you're hearing muting on that C chord, just make sure, 1, the 3rd finger knuckle is bent. It's got to be bent. You may need to adjust the thumb on the back of your neck so that you have more room to curve that finger. The other option is just play the finger a little higher up on the string. Okay, if you're someone with big fingers, you can just play that a little bit higher up on the string and it might give you enough clearance to not mute that string. F major 7, here's an exception. Okay, 4-string chord, we're gonna move the thumb. The thumb is gonna be alternating now between 3 and 4, and our first finger is gonna be on the 2nd string. Our 3rd finger is now going to be on the bottom string, but the pattern is the same, okay? So it's P, I, P, M, P, I, P, M. Okay, so there it is. That's what we got. So we got our G chord, C chord, and our F major 7. So practice moving around to different chords. A C chord could easily be an A minor chord. Okay, an F major 7 could easily be a D chord. Okay, so play around with the different chords you know between a 6-string pattern, a 5-string pattern, and a 4-string pattern. Now what I want to teach you is a very important technique in fingerpicking called the pluck. It's when we use 2 fingers at the same time, all right? So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna stick with the same bass note. We're not gonna worry about alternating bass notes or changing bass notes. All I wanna focus on is changing the treble note. So let's take our G chord. And what we're gonna do is the P, the thumb is always gonna play that 6th string. But we're gonna alternate between I, M, and A. All right, at least we are on the C and G chords. All right, we can't really do that on the F chord. I'll let you know what we're gonna do when we get there. But all I want you to do is we're gonna play the thumb and the 1st finger at the same time. It's gonna sound like this. Okay, so we're playing the G string and that low E string at the same time. Okay, then we're gonna go and pluck the thumb and the next finger, M. And then the next finger, A, and then back to M. So what we're doing on the bottom strings is we're going I, M, A, M, I, M, A, M. And we're just putting the bass note on the top. So it's gonna sound like this. Want you to get used to the mechanic of playing 2 strings at the same time. It can be awkward in the beginning if you've never done that before. Let's go back to 5-string chords. Let's go to our C chord. Same thing, except this time we're playing the 5th string on the bass note. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I, M, A, M. So F major 7, since the thumb typically plays the 3rd and 4th strings, we're just gonna alternate between P and I and P and M. So it's gonna be. So where would this come in handy? Think of a song like Blackbird. Okay, think of a song like that, or a song like Dust in the Wind. You can hear how that pluck really adds another level of depth to the song. It's a very, very common technique used in finger picking, and that's why we want to develop an exercise to practice and get comfortable with it. Once you get comfortable with this lesson, I'm going to show you how to add other notes to that pluck technique, as well as how you can incorporate walk downs into your fingerstyle playing. Go click on lesson number 5.